Now, it's so beautifully done. It's such a fun watch. So, talk about why you decided to bring this classic story to the big screen.
Well, like everyone else, I was sat at home, had been for 4 or 5 months in the middle of the first lockdown, and I was starved, missing human connection. I felt that I needed to make a movie about the power and importance of human connection and how we so often fail to connect with others. So I said, right, come on, we're doing this now, and we found a way to do it in the middle of the pandemic by shooting in Sicily, in Italy. And interestingly, the themes of the film, as I say, connection, human connection, and love, were also reflected in the process of making the film, and also hopefully reflected in the experience that audiences will have watching the film.
Yeah. Share a little bit more how they were reflected in the process of making the film. Do you have any stories that are particularly compelling about creating this film?
I guess I guess making the film in the middle of the pandemic meant that the crew and cast and everyone involved really were determined, had a sense of determination to make something beautiful in the face of this tragedy that had befallen our world.
Yeah, I love that. Now, this original play was written in the 1800s, but it seems of self-worth and acceptance are also so relevant today. So, what can we learn from this story, especially in a social media-driven age?
Well, I think again it goes back to human connection. It's the fact that, even before the pandemic, we had somehow assumed that the illusionary nature of social media and internet interaction was drawing us closer to each other, but I fear that it brings us further apart. And so it felt important to make a movie that spoke of the importance of telling those that you love them, and the importance of accepting yourself and finding yourself worthy of love.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I love the contrast between the makeup that is so garish, especially at the beginning of some of the male characters, and the natural beauty of Christian and of Roxanne. So, talk about the underlying meaning behind this visual juxtaposition.
Yeah, well, I mean, the film, well, the original play, although written in the 1800s and 1897, was set in the 1640s. But I didn't want to kind of limit myself to that very specific time. So I gave myself the leeway to work between 1640 and about 1720. Although some of the costumes are very modern, more like kind of current Alexander McQueen designs. But the men are more like the peacocks of that time. They are all ribbons and bows, especially the aristocratic men. Whereas the women are slightly more demure, shall we say.
Yeah, no, I love that. So ultimately, what is your hope for this film, especially like you said, coming out of what has been a really hard time of isolation for so many people?
I guess my hope for the film is that people will go to cinemas and have that theatrical experience. I mean, it was recently proven, scientists have recently proven that when a large group of people come together in a theatre, or in a concert hall, or indeed in a church, when you have a group of people together, their heartbeats synchronize, their hearts beat together. And I really hope that audiences have that experience, have the experience of coming together in a movie theater, and feeling their hearts beat in unison.